Right, so the filter we're gonna look at it's called offset. And offset is really kind of interesting when you combine it. I'm gonna show you a very specific way to combine it here, and then show you other ways if you have something like already kind of done, how do we then take a done image and kind of offset it, which is kind of interesting as well. So let's just so I'm gonna turn this into, turn your thing, image into a smart object, and then I'm gonna go to filter, other, and offset. You would never find it if I didn't tell you where it is. Like other, what does that mean? It means nothing. Like, what do you want to do? I'd like to do some other, right? That doesn't make sense, right? But here's where it is, right? So we're going to go offset. And so right now, it's set to, you have these different areas that you can do. You can do repeat edge pixels or wrap around. Set to transparent, you can kind of mess with as well. And you have vertical and horizontal. It's very easy dialog box. So right now I'm going to do wrap around. So as I do that, do you see what's happening? It's literally just pushing this image and wrapping it around. As if you push it off to the side and it comes back to the other side. I can also do that vertically. So you can see I can manipulate that image, right? But what's really cool, what I like to do, especially with something like this, with other image, if you find an image of a car that has like light trails on it, this is really super cool to do. I'm going to do repeat edge pixels. And now what did you see happen? It's dragging your edge of your picture to create these little drags. Really cool. I think it's a really interesting visual to be able to do, to be able to have that. So I'm going to leave these drags in there. Now I could really do that and only get vertical lines from it. If you just said, oh, I wonder what it would look like if this image, this coloring, had these vertical lines, and now we can then apply it over top of that. So let's just change this back a little bit. Let's just have a couple little drags that are here as if it's glitching and again, not fully being formed in. We're also then gonna take, right, so this is kind of cool. We're gonna take this text treatment that I created right here, and I did offset to that. And you see it dragged parts of that typography. Created this visual, which was very interesting. So now what I have is I have this image underneath that, and we can do something like, oops, wrong one. What if we change this to screen? Now we have this like cool dragged image with this interesting type treatment that's in there. And I did it all with just a couple clicks of knowing how and how to get it that way, right? And so that's using offset for those drags. It allows me to do this cool thing with type to be able to drag it off the edge. Now, what you will notice is your image has got to be going over to the edge for those drags to work. You can see how I have the type specifically off to the edge. If this was inset, it wouldn't work. Or if this image was inset. So if I take this image and go like this and say, all right, well, I want you to do that. Look, it doesn't know what to do with it because it's pulling the white from the outside. Okay? So let's say I did have this, right? And I feel like I'm done screen. I like that. Let's do a couple little, what do I want to do? Let's just do a hue and saturation over top of this. Let's say I wanted to change some things. There we go. And let's say I like that, but I want to do, so I'm kind of pulling all the stuff that we've learned together. Command Option Shift E, select all, copy, new, paste, mode, grayscale, flatten, discard, image mode, bitmap, halftone screen, lines, okay, cool. Image mode, grayscale, okay. Select all, copy, close that, I don't need to save it. Paste it right over top, multiply, and now I got these cool lines kind of working in that as well. You could play with how that is working. Oh, I like that even better. All right, let's tone this down a little bit, and now I have those lines in there, right? Now let's say you want to take this and distort this. Let's say you're like, oh, I like this, but now I want to offset this a little bit more as if this thing was even shifted, right? So we're going to use that Command Option Shift E, turn this into a smart object, go to Offset, And instead of the drag, I'm going to say wrap around. So now what it's doing is it's wrapping around this image and kind of cutting it off in places to create even a more disjointed, even more kind of offset visual that's there. Right? Yeah. And what could I do from there? Well, I could do anything now from here, but let's go into that cross process with this and curves. Okay, I like where that's going. Now let's blend that down over top, and you can see I can get all sorts of new interactions that start to happen, and I can make some adjustments and things from there, right? So that's using the offset in order to create some interesting kind of drags and stuff like that.